Welcome to another episode of the Sunday Punch podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about a lot of NFL action. There's a new NFL elite, and we're going to try and convince Mani that he does, in fact, like Jalen Hurts. But of course, as we know, it's Tuesday night, literally, but it's always Friday night on the Sunday Punch podcast.
Friday night, I'm thinking that we just might fly away to someplace they don't know who we are. Now I'm riding shotgun in your car. We drive through the city like explorers going 65. Flowing hair flying across your face. We left on Friday, now it's Saturday. Pressed jeans buttoned up, jeans iron slipping up. Red shoes walking slow, headphones blaring 3 stacks. Sunglasses flaring out, thick watch hanging low. Studded belt pulled taut, 3 stacks on the radio. Friday night, I'm thinking that we just might run away to some place we can be who we are. We can be who we are.
All right, we're going to start a new segment on the Sunday Punch podcast. It's called Let's Check In on Mani and his weekly Jalen Hurts hatred. Mani, I know it was against the Commanders. But those throws were nasty from Jalen Hurts. I mean, they don't have to be wide open anymore. The man's dropping dimes into buckets. The one to Devontae 50 yards down the field was insane. Then he does it again. Then he hits him in the back of the end zone. Those 3 throws, though, are elite throws, and I don't care who the competition is because they were draped all over him. And then, by the way, before you sully this show, this was Jalen after the game.
When you look yourself in the mirror as a man and you say, I'm going to control the things I can control, that's how you get better. That's how you get better. That's how you take steps. But AJ said this on the sideline, and I really feel like, okay, we got a good football team. We know when we control the things we can, we damn good. But we got to go to work every day. We got to go to work every day to clean up this little that's holding us back so we can be who we meant to be. But now, we got it, Tony! I love y'all boys, man. We a family, man. Family on 3. 1, 2, 3.
They're a family. They're a family in Philly. A Philly family.
Mani hates that video.
No, he would do that last year, and I think that's just cringe. Like, come on now.
Oh, wait a second. Because my head's about to explode. Jalen Hurts is cringe.
That
but
was
your
cringe,
dog,
yeah.
Russell Wilson,
I never said
who
that
you
about
wanted on the Philadelphia Eagles, is
I don't-
probably
I-
the
no.
most cringe person of all
No,
time.
I'm just talking about talent-wise, like, beside what they do off the field. Like, what is a speech like that's going to automatically make these players, like, a lot better, and then they're going to –
I want to run through a wall.
Bro, come on now. It's just –
If I'm on the team,
Bro, I
wanna
bet
run through
you
a
he
wall.
gave a speech before the Tampa Bay game last year, and then they got clapped. So the speech not doing much.
I disagree. I think you can tell when someone's being authentic versus when they're trying to be like Jameis Winston and is like, we're going to be eating W's.
But it's not like him giving a speech is going to make them play like 10 times better. He's just talking.
I don't think that either. I just think it shows the leader. I think it's an authentic leader. Would you rather? Okay, here's the thing. A whole week has gone by again. Okay. Would you rather have Russell Wilson still than Jalen Hurts?
Yeah, I'm not going to change my answer based off of one.
Based off of facts.
Mani, I normally agree with you on these, but you're just wrong. You're just wrong here.
Like, if you put Russ on the Eagles, they'd be 3-0 as well.
Oh, man.
You can't say they wouldn't be 3-0.
You watched that
defense,
game?
Our defense has only given up 8 points last week and 7 points the week before. I think we should be giving credit to our defense.
Detroit would have beat you with Russell.
I mean, so our offense last week didn't put up any points after halftime, and our offense last week against Minnesota didn't put up any points after halftime.
Well,
so I'm saying
you
we're
don't
putting
really
up
need to
numbers,
put in.
but
You don't
you
need
can't-
points
but you
when you
can't get a
won the
field
game
goal?
in the first half.
But you can't get a field. You can't move the ball past midfield and get a field goal.
Field goal got blocked.
But okay, you need to do it more than once. You can't. You can only so in 2 games in 2 halves you only could get 1 block field goal in basically a whole 60 minutes.
Well,
You don't need to.
In a whole 60 minutes, they blew him out in the first half.
You can. I
No,
mean,
when
if
you
you watch the
combine-
game, they run way more conservatively. in the
When you
second half.
combine the 2 halves, I got you.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm still not sold. I don't think I will be sold because I know what the end thing is. But we have an easy schedule, so
I think this might be like
I don't understand why you don't
mental
enjoy
block
it in
for
the
you.
moment.
no,
I
I
think you
enjoy
need
it.
therapy.
I enjoy it, but I don't like when people get too confident when they it's like, all right, let's simmer down.
True or false? I'm a bigger Eagles fan than Mani right now.
I say I'm a bit bigger Lamar Jackson fan than you then.
Oh, absolutely. I love Lamar. Hey, Lamar again on Sunday versus the Patriots just balled out. So
If
don't
Lamar
worry.
does that in the locker room, though, you're all over it. You think
No,
it's
because
cool.
I don't think Lamar would do that.
Meanwhile, this is Russell Wilson's recent one of his commercials.
Hey, you want to split this Subway sandwich? It is my signature sandwich. It's called the Danger Witch, and it's dangerously good. Be careful, though. It's spicy. You ever done anything dangerous? That is dangerous. I've done something like that, too. I won't tell anybody. Listen, one time? Yeah, never mind. That's too dangerous. Anyways, my Danger Witch, it's only in the vault. That's our little secret.
Why was the Batman going on in the background?
Because it's so creepy. That dude. So you okay? You're still going with Russell Wilson after that stink fest versus the San Francisco 49ers. Whose fault is it in Denver? Is it all Hackett?
I mean, I still think Russell Wilson's a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts. Yes, if that's your question.
Okay. Are the Broncos going to make the playoffs?
What are they? 1-2?
2-1.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they have a chance. I say they find a way to sneak in. If they've won 2 of these games and they've played like complete garbage, assuming that they can turn it around a little, I think they can find a way to
They
sneak
lost
in.
to the Seahawks. They beat the Texans barely. They beat the 49ers barely. You know, I was watching some old tape of Russ, and it's really night and day. Like, if you watch some old Seahawks footage when he was really balling, it's like, wow, was he fast, and man, was that arm live. And now it's like he doesn't run at all anymore, and it just seems like the ball's not getting there as quickly as it used to. I wish I kind of like him, but other than the cringe factor, but he was always one of my favorite QBs. I just think he's been this way for 3 years now.
He got injured.
He's an old 33.
I mean, I guess we'll have to see. He's only 3 games in on his new team. Like, yeah, you can make some judgments now, but we're not even in October yet.
Next game versus the Raiders. Is this anyone's click it to pick it? Raiders got to get on the board.
No, the Raiders, I don't know if they'll win the game soon.
All right, well, that takes us into our 5 worst teams here. Let's get into our 5 worst teams and explain why. You want me to? Are we going to go in the same order here? You want me to go first? You go first.
No, you can go first. I can't even think of 5 teams.
I'm going to have the Eagles in the
Okay. My 5 worst teams are, of course, the Arizona Cardinals. Then followed by, and I hate to put them here because, last year I was all over them for upsets, but the Raiders, while adding one of the top wide receivers, have just looked completely disjointed on both sides of the ball. I have the New Orleans Saints, who Jameis used to be fun to watch because he would throw an interception, a touchdown, interception. Now he's not throwing. He's not throwing it anywhere. They have a weird team too because Olave's really good, right? Michael Thomas is kind of back. They still got Kamara, and yet they're not good at all. And then I have the Colts. I don't care that they beat the Chiefs. The Chiefs should have won that game 19 different times. And then in Chicago, we are here with one of the worst teams. 2-1, but to me, I watched that Texans game, and it's like, I don't know what's going on with Justin Fields, but they let him throw the ball about 8 to 10 times a game. So they're not seeing something in practice. He has no weapons, so I got to give that to him. Or they're committed to bringing the 80s back, and it's working versus these teams. But then you saw what the Packers did to them, and we'll get to the Packers when we're in my top 5 teams. Charles, who would you replace if my 5 worst?
I don't think Arizona is a top 5 worst. I don't think they're great, but they're.
You wouldn't put them in 5?
You didn't have the Houston in there.
Yeah.
You think
Houston would beat the Cardinals?
What about the Jets?
Jets are frisky.
What about the Commanders?
They sure throw the ball a lot in New York.
Seattle.
Seattle. Okay.
We'll get to see if Seattle is better than Arizona this year.
Okay, Seattle.
I'd put Atlanta up there too.
Yeah, so you would replace who? So Cardinals.
My bottom 5, I would say, would be Chicago, Houston, Seattle, Atlanta, and probably the Jets.
See, this is my problem with the Jets and the Atlanta pick is they're kind of fun to watch. First of all, Joe Flacco's thrown the ball more than any quarterback in the entire league. I don't know what the plan is in New York, but they're like, all right, we lost Zach Wilson. We have this super old quarterback who was never really that great at throwing the ball in the first place. Why don't we let him just unleash it? So they're kind of fun. I mean, Wilson, the other Wilson, wide receiver, Garrett, is he's the real deal. I think he might have got tweaked in the game, but the defense flies around too in New York. But and Atlanta's fun to watch too. I like watching a fella who sounds like an NFL Blitz character in Drake London and Kyle Pitts, and you got Cordarrelle Patterson, who is still hurtling over people. If you got to watch that game last weekend. So that's what I would say. I think they have a chance in any game. See, like the Cardinals
they lost to one of your bottom 5 teams. Blew a lead in the fourth quarter to one of your bottom 5 teams. So,
who are we talking about right now?
The Saints.
Oh yeah, that's true. I don't know. I think overall in the 17-week season, we're gonna come back at the end of the year. We're gonna see these 5 teams. The Cardinals are in major problem mode. Why? Because every play of theirs is, hey, Kyler, why don't you go ahead and run around like you're in the back? We don't have a play. Why don't you go ahead and run around all day?
I'll take that over what the Texans are doing.
Oh, you mean standardized plays where they have quick slants and Dameon Pierce actually running the ball instead of they're like, hey, Kyler, why don't you go ahead and run around for 20 seconds and then hopefully someone gets open? I mean, they lost to a Rams team that I think we all agree is not that great.
I think they're a solid team. I think they'll probably make the playoffs. They're the Super Bowl champs, too. You got to put some respect.
I know. But usually the Super Bowl champ has a hangover. I was just going to play you something. Wait a second. This is Frank Caliendo as John Madden and Pat Summerall announcing Kyler Murray's week 2-point conversion.
Looks like they're going for 2, Pat. Sure does. Kyler Murray back to pass. I mean, this place falling apart, Pat. I don't think he can see anything. How tall is Kyler Murray, Pat?
5'10", I believe.
Not sure about that. How tall is Kevin Hart?
Maybe 6 foot. Murray, directing traffic.
Actually, he was creating a diversion, Pat. And he pointed in a couple places and boom, he ran circles around these guys.
Touchdown, Cardinals.
Those were some amazing tactics. I don't understand how he did it. I guess it's just modern warfare. You ever play Call of Duty, Pat?
See, that play
The Call of Duty.
right there, everyone's like, "Oh, that's so great." I watch that and I think, "Wow, they don't trust anyone to run the correct route, or it takes Kyler that long to see a route developing."
No, maybe
Plus, they don't have a
just-
defense.
Maybe the
Plus,
play.
they have
just
no
broke
weapons.
down. No, Hollywood had like 15 catches or something like that. He
Yeah,
played well.
that's what Charlie was telling me.
He played. No, I mean, I wouldn't put them in the bottom 5. You got maybe the bottom 3rd, but
cannot
not
wait.
in the
It's
bottom
week
5.
16.
I don't think they're a
Cardinals won
playoff team,
3
but I also
games.
don't think they're like one of the worst teams in the league.
It's okay. We get to do this on a weekly basis. And each week they will lose and they'll have won 3 games. By the way, we were talking about coaches getting fired. At what point is Cliff on the hot seat?
It depends on how they finish. If they finish as bad as you think they'll, then he'll get fired by the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
But if they go 500, I think he's safe, and I don't think he'll get fired. He'll maybe get one more year.
Why is, by the way, that just reminds me of Nathaniel Hackett and his odds of getting fired. Let's go backwards to the Broncos. Why is it so hard to manage a football game? I mean, I'm watching the game. I've watched enough football in my life to be like, oh, yeah, they should take a timeout right here. And yet a guy who's literally lived in the NFL, being Aaron Rodgers' quarterback's coach, has no idea and has to bring in like 3 outside consultants on, hey, should we kick a field goal here? It's just bizarre.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't think it would be that hard if you're an NFL head coach, but clearly he must be overthinking stuff.
Did you know you can't have computers in the press box? So like you like everyone else has the analytics, but they're not allowed to have it.
They can't have the iPads?
No, they can't look up like the analytics of the percentages and stuff like that. I didn't know that. Chris Collinsworth said that. He was like, Al. As Danny, he brought somebody in. You gotta give him credit for that. That was another frustrating thing is Russell Wilson probably had, I don't know, 2 or 3 plays where he got like 12 yards and scrambled around. And Chris Collinsworth acted like we were watching Russell Wilson in 2015. You're like, oh, there he is. Oh man, you gotta love this guy. I don't know where I was going. I just wanted to do my Chris Collinsworth one more time. Do you still have Hackett as first fired?
Yeah, I had the Colts guy, but I mean they won, so
So
yeah.
he's good for the year.
He's good for
the
now.
Colts
Maybe,
guy.
Frank Reich.
maybe. I mean they beat the Chiefs, so maybe I don't know. Well, Hackett. I mean they're 2-1 as well. I'd have to look at it again. But
Well, they're making the playoffs according to you. Let's see if I'm going to clip that one too.
I mean I wouldn't. They could sneak in as the 7 teams make it, the 7 seed, or
I think the Broncos are going to lose a lot of games from here on out. They've had a very easy schedule. Well, we've talked about the worst teams. Let's talk about the best teams in the league. And I'll go ahead and tell you mine. Charlie's already laughing because he knows one of these, but I'm going to go with the top 5 teams as being the Bills, the Eagles, the Ravens. I'm going to keep, just because it was so disrespectful for them to lose to one of my top 5 worst teams in the league, I'm going to keep the Packers. I'm going to eliminate the Chiefs from the top 5. And I'm going with a surprise team, Money. The Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm buying the stock. I'm buying low on the stock now, and I think I'll look like a genius by the end of the year. They got a lot of playmakers.
No, yeah,
and your old coach in Philly's doing a good job, Doug Peterson.
I mean they're good and they're talented. Top
They lost to
5.
Carson Wentz.
2 Hail Marys that should have never been completed.
Still Carson Wentz though.
And they weren't Hail Marys. They were just
I mean,
Long ball.
over 45 yards to me is like a very like low percentage play.
No, I mean that's a fair list.
Okay, thank you. That's all I wanted.
I think
wanted
it's
a
crazy that you're putting the Jaguars over the Chiefs, though.
But you
I
don't
think
have
that
the
they played.
Dolphins in there. The Dolphins
No, you
just
don't have
beat
the
your
Dolphins
Bills.
either.
I still that's actually we're gonna get to the click it to pickets, but I don't believe in the Dolphins still.
So
See-
I would put the Dolphins ahead of the Jags. If you're gonna say, oh, they're looking good this year, like
I like
have to
Trevor
say-
Lawrence better than I like Tua.
Yeah, but the rest of the team, I like Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill over anyone on that offense.
You're not buying in on the Christian Kirk hype?
No, because they have Zay Jones, Marvin Jones. They spread the ball around a lot.
Yeah.
I would trust Waddle and Hill. I just think like if you're putting teams like, oh, you're saying, oh, they look good now. The Dolphins are 3-0. I'm not saying that they're gonna go into the Super Bowl or go making a deep run, but right now they're a top 5 team.
Yeah, I guess I'm not basing it off of like right now. I'm basing it off of I'm projecting. You see what I'm doing here? I'm projecting. Yeah. And I think that the Jags are gonna be I think they're gonna make the playoffs, and I think they're gonna make some noise.
So the Dolphins making the playoffs? I know I'm caught up on the Dolphins, but do you think the Dolphins are making the playoffs?
I don't know. I think the Dolphins could go on a bad run. I think everyone's getting hyped up on the Dolphins, and I'm just not. I think last game was 100 degrees, and the Bills had to run 90 plays, which is a game and a half of football. When you're running 90 plays, that's also meaning that you're not getting big chunks too. So they look dead. I don't know about the heat. I don't know why it affects these players so much, but the Bills were dead. They should have won that game to me. Dolphins got lucky. The week before, they played the Ravens, who don't have a defense. I know Lamar's doing great, but I watch all the Ravens games. They don't have a very good defense. I mean, we just had to sign Jason Pierre-Paul. Marcus Peters is still injured to me. We have a rookie safety from Notre Dame. Take that for what you want. Humphrey's still good, but it's one corner. And then the week before that, they played the Patriots, who are a hot mess. So, sure, they're 3-0. I just think it's a weak 3-0. And I think we're going to find out real quickly this Thursday.
Or you think the Bengals are winning?
I like the Bengals. I like the Bengals a lot. I love the Bengals. I'm in love with the Bengals. And I hate Joe Burrow.
It's not the white jersey.
But I love Eli Apple.
He's going to get
I'm
cooked.
kidding. We'll get to that. All right, who would you put in there, Charles? Who would you say you would just replace the Jags with the Chiefs then?
In order, I would do Bills, Chiefs,
Oh wow.
Miami, Philly,
You like Miami better than Philly.
Tampa.
You like Miami better than Philly.
I just don't want to get too confident.
Wow. I am the biggest Eagles fan on this podcast.
Miami's played better teams than Philly has, so I don't think that there's any proof to put Philly over Miami right now. And I think Tampa is, once they get all their receivers back, I think their defense is still really good. And I think they'll turn it around. I'm not convinced on the Packers yet.
Packers got a good D.
Yeah, but they have no wide receivers. I mean, we'll see.
You don't believe in the Lizard King.
Not as a number one, no.
Aaron Rodgers doesn't even believe in the Lizard King.
You see him puke on the sideline?
Yeah.
Yeah, he caught the touchdown. He puked immediately. It's like he couldn't handle it. He was like, "Oh, sorry, I was really nervous about that touchdown dance." Tampa's defense is good, and I do agree. I almost put them in instead of my powerhouse Jaguars team, but I couldn't do it. I just love Trevor Lawrence. Something about that hair. Okay, go ahead, Monty. Who you got?
No,
Oh, we know the Eagles aren't in there.
No, they actually are. They are in there.
Okay.
They're number 5.
I'd go
You got Bills, Eagles.
No, I got Buffalo 1, Kansas City 2, Tampa Bay 3, Miami. I'll put Miami 4 and then the Eagles 5th. I think it's even because I'm not scared of Tua. If I'm going in a game against Tua, I'm not really scared of him, but I'm scared of Tyreek and Jalen Waddle.
Would you rather have Tua or Jalen?
Neither.
That's not.
I love the questions. With that, I love that Monty refuses to answer the question.
You got to pick one.
I mean, they're like they're not special. Like they're just average quarterbacks.
Oh, we all know that he's the Pusha T of the NFL.
No, I think Tua is really bad, so I'd go with Jalen Hurts. I think he's trash.
Tua, I think Tua is pretty bad too.
Yeah, like I'm surprised he played well against the Ravens because I never in my life thought he could throw 6 touchdowns in a game, let alone in like 3 games. But yeah, I'd go with Jalen Hurts over Tua.
Well, and then I don't get how Tua even stayed in that game. I don't understand how he's playing on Thursday. This was Tua after he got hit.
Tua, I respect your toughness, big dog, but you got to sit this one out, bro. You're not okay, bro. You're not okay, bro. Sit this one out, coach. You're going to be all right.
They're saying that that's not a concussion. They're saying it's a back issue. And if that's a back issue, it's very serious.
I broke my back.
What do you mean by that?
My back is broken.
What, a vertebrae or what portion?
Spinal.
Spinal. Yeah, so I guess he's playing Thursday night. This is wild to me.
No, it is crazy. I thought when I saw it on TV, I thought he was going to be like taken out of the game, which he was, but not coming back and then missing some time. But he came back after halftime and did his thing. But I don't know how, like, apparently they're supposed to have like a non-team doctor check him out and evaluate him, which I don't know what that doctor was on that he gave him the approval to let him back in. Because he clearly was messed up in the head. He couldn't even walk normally.
He was like, "How many fingers am I holding up?" And then he was mouthing.
Right.
Okay, so you're going with Jalen over Tua. Wow, I think we're making This is like a therapy session. We're making breakthroughs little by little. Eventually, we'll get to top 5 quarterbacks. Plus, Jalen can get freaky, dude. Jalen can get freaky.
And get freaky in open field when I have to as well.
Excuse me. Get freaky?
Get freaky. I don't know that. What does that mean?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I could watch that for 5 hours straight. The last part.
I'm gonna see.
That's cringe to you. That's cringe to you, Monty.
I don't know which one will happen first, but Mani admitting that Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback, or Adam admitting that the Cardinals aren't the worst team in the league.
Well, I see. The thing is, if the here's where I want to say something. And I want to get pretty serious with this. See, with me, if the Cardinals start winning, I'll obviously reassess and I'll say, wait a second, I was incorrect. The Cardinals are actually pretty good. Let's say they get DeAndre Hopkins back, right? And DeAndre Hopkins solves all of their issues on defense. And I'll be like, you know what? I was wrong. The Cardinals are a good team. We'll be sitting here. It'll be 15-1 Eagles. And Monty will be like, oh, God, this guy.
No, my
He's got 50 touchdowns.
So we have a really easy schedule. So we're going to be favored and we're going to win some games. Last year we didn't beat one team that had a winning record. And so I don't even think we'll play a team that has a winning record this year, or maybe one or two. And so like if you got caught up in all the wins that we did last year against non-winning record teams, you'd be like, oh, this man's amazing. The Eagles are going far. They're a great team with a great quarterback. But it just happened that our schedule is just easy for us. And so we're playing poor teams. Because I know when we go up against good teams, like I personally don't think we'll win because we don't have the quarterback play for it. But I'm just saying, like, he's not a scrub, but he's not this amazing quarterback that people make him seem like he is, or that he's in the top 5, 10 MVP voting. Because he's not a top 10 quarterback. So I think I don't even want to say disrespectful to other quarterbacks that he's like in that conversation. But because if you put any other quarterback on the Eagles, I feel like they would be in the same thing. They would be a top 5 team.
I think the Eagles are very good, especially in the trenches on defensive line and
No,
offensive
the team's
line.
amazing. Yeah.
You
But
put Daniel
think you're
Jones
not-
on the Eagles. Are we 3-0?
I'm just saying, dude,
no.
it doesn't matter if they're 3-0 because the
Yeah, if you
throws that
take-
he was making versus the Commanders were elite. It
No,
doesn't
if
matter it doesn't matter who the competition is. Putting the ball on a dot 40
No, that's
yards down
fair.
the field is a
I don't
we're
I
gonna
don't
be
think
here in week 16 and say, Monty, is Jalen a
No.
pretty good quarterback?
I'm not going to. So quit asking.
I don't think he's a top 10 quarterback. If you put any like bona fide top 10 quarterback on the Eagles, we're going to be saying, oh, they're amazing. They're an MVP candidate. But it doesn't matter who you have a quarterback. The Eagles roster-wise have a top 5 talented roster. And I said that before the season. So I don't care like who you have a quarterback. If you put a top 10 quarterback, we'd be in the same position.
Jalen wouldn't be doing what he was doing this year last year, though.
I mean, he was doing that against like the Redskins, the Lions.
He wasn't, though. He wasn't passing as much as passing as well as he was. He'd be rushing the ball, and we'd just be running them down their throat. But
They were called the Washington football team. Come on, people.
I'm not sold, and I think I won't be sold until I see us beat like some good teams. If we're just obviously we're beating the teams that are on our schedule and that are bad, but I want to see us win some close games or against some good teams.
all right, when we beat top 5 Jacksonville next week, then
Okay, well, let's say this: you win a wild card game, right? Will that prove because that's a playoff team, or do you need to even go further than that?
So that means we only make it to we don't after the wild card. Oh, so we lose in the
whoever
division.
wins the wild card, and then moves on to play you guys.
Would I say that's a success?
Well, no, not success. Would you just say, okay, Jalen Hurts is good, and he plays well? He's got to play well.
Well, it all depends on how he plays. That's a big if.
Right. Okay. We're gonna have to. It's gonna have to be a Super Bowl matchup. I think
I mean, the way that they're talking about this team, I think they have us as the odds-on favorite in the East. So if that's what Vegas thinks, I want to see.
they have us as the odds-on favorite.
That's what I meant, not the East,
Yeah.
the NFC. Yeah.
If we go to the Super Bowl and lose, but Jalen Hurts throws.
No, that's a success. That's a success. If we can make it to the Super Bowl.
Will you buy into it? Will you be like, I want this guy on the team for the next 10 years?
If he makes the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But that's a big if. I don't think
we know what the standard is now.
As it should be, right?
It should be, but I'm just like
I'll let
Lamar
you
hasn't made it, and I love Lamar. And you
If
love
you put,
Lamar.
that's what I'm saying. If you put Lamar on the Eagles, I bet everyone would say the Eagles are going to the Super Bowl. Like, no questions. And you would agree with that too. With their roster.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying.
I think they're going right now with Jalen, though.
I've never said that I thought Lamar Jackson was worse than Jalen Hurts. I think Lamar Jackson is better than Jalen Hurts.
But I'm just
you're the
saying,
one who said you want Bryce Young instead.
I would take Bryce Young over Jalen Hurts. Nick Saban took basically Bryce Young over Jalen Hurts.
I'm not going to. So quit asking.
Okay, let's get to our click it to pickets for the week. I skipped over the Thursday night preview. I think we talked about the Bengals and the Dolphins. Do you guys want to add anything to why you think the Dolphins are going to win this game? I will say the line went up. It's now -4 for the Bengals.
Tua's supposed to play though, right?
Let me just double, triple quadruple check. Good. I'm never been more thankful for a Google autofill for his last name. He passed concussion tests. He's passed. I think he's good. He's good to go. He's good to go. I like this TMZ. The concussion doctor. That's his title now. the guy who studied concussions and then they did that movie where he's like, tell the truth. He slams the NFL for Tua returning to the Bills game. TMZ will talk to anyone, won't they? They're like, find the concussion doctor. Okay, I'm gonna go. This is my click it to pick it for the week. I'm gonna go. It's a little lame to do this. I realize this, but bet $200 on the Bengals money line and get yourself an easy $100. Go out for a nice round of drinks on the night. Bet 200, win 100 easy. Miami's coming off this weird heat game where they looked good against the Bills, who aren't used to that humidity. And Tua's apparently cool, but he's going to look bad. That was their Super Bowl to me. This is an easy letdown game in Cincinnati. Plus, they're wearing the white jerseys, so they got the albino Tigers out there. They're going to look dope. They're going to feel good. They're going to play good. And I don't like that Tyreek called out Eli Apple. I think the whole Bengals squad is now going to be headhunting. And I like the Bengals to win this game. I like them to win by a touchdown. But if you want the easy money, bet 200 on the Bengals, win 100. Go get yourself 10 Miller Lights at Old Crow. Because that's how much they cost there. That's how much they cost there. Done. Thursday night. I'm going early. By the way, just a little recap on their click it to pickets. They love the Cardinals, so they didn't put that as their click it to picket last week. I told everyone that the Cardinals would lose by 5.5. They lost by 11. Probably should have been more. The Cardinals, you could just bet against the Cardinals all season. You'd be very good. But my click it to pick it won. Their click it. Mani got greedy with the Detroit money line. Detroit looked good versus the Vikings, and going into the fourth, you felt very good probably. But that lost with Cousin Kirk at the end. Mani or Charlie, who did you pick again?
KC.
Unforgivable. Unforgivable. They should have won that game 19 times though, so I can't really put that against you. Who you guys going with your click it to pickets?
I'm gonna go with the Ravens +3.
Wow, that is like a dangerous click it to pick it.
Yeah, it's not a guarantee. I like the line. It's sort of how I felt last week with the Lions and the Vikings. I just think, I think the Bills are better, but Lamar, he's been playing out of his mind. The Bills somehow found a way to lose last week when they had time of possession by 70% to 30% or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think the Ravens. Yeah, I know you said
you want the points. You want the points?
Yeah, I'm going to take the points. I'm not going to get greedy. It might be a field goal, but yeah, I go with the Ravens.
Okay, +3 Ravens. By the way, if you want to bet the Ravens just straight up, you can get +145 odds on the money line.
It's a home game, right? Yeah,
it is a home game. It's in Baltimore. The only thing I would worry about is our defense against Buffalo. So it's going to have to be a shootout. I would slam the over 52. Slam it.
Mm-hmm.
Slam. That's my second click it to pick it. Slam the Baltimore Bills over. Charles?
I think I like the Rams +2.5. I think a divisional game. Jimmy G looks like he sucks too.
Okay, so
I didn't even know that they were
I know
underdogs.
your strategy.
Yeah, I didn't either. I just pulled it up. I was like, these guys are underdogs.
That is insane. It is in San Fran, but San Fran is missing Trent Williams, their left tackle. I think we saw the results of that one versus Denver. They couldn't run, and Jimmy, when they can't run, it's bad news. So I like that one too, but I'm sticking with my Cincy Thursday.
I like
Also,
the Titans +3 too against the Colts.
yes,
Another divisional, and I think that could go either way.
Okay, here it
goes
is.
Crazy against the Colts too.
All right, here it is. Here's the parlay. I like both of those. Now, you don't have to bet $200 anymore. Bet $100 on Cincy money line to win, and then parlay that with Tennessee +3.5 and the Rams over +2, and you can get some good odds. I bet you can get 3-1 on that.
+448.
+448. Oh, slam it. Throw in the Baltimore Bills over, too. See what happens.
Just make it a 12-leg parlay.
Okay, if you're really a degenerate, did you put in the Bills? I would like to hear the odds on that one.
One sec.
Okay. Now, for those listening, that is the LA Rams +2 over the San Francisco 49ers. That's a Monday night game. Cincinnati money line beating the tired and concussed Miami Dolphins. And you pair that up with the old Tennessee +3.5 versus the shitty Colts in Indy.
It's +3 now on FanDuel, but yes.
Okay, +3, and then slam that over in the Baltimore Bills game.
52.5.
Yeah.
+971.
Oh, you can get some. That's a good value. I don't care who you are. That's a great value.
And then I was gonna say, then the Bengals lose.
I'm putting 100 on it. I've just decided. I've just decided. The great part about this bet is once I'm guaranteeing mine. The Bengals beat the Dolphins. You're gonna feel real good going into Sunday.
If they don't.
And then once the Sundays hit, you're gonna be very tempted to cash out before that Monday night game. But you never cash out. You never ever cash out. Okay.
That's a reminder. All gamblers quit right before they hit big. So.
That's true. That's true. Everyone does quit before they become a millionaire. And it's really a shame. It's really a shame. Anyone on your do not bet list for the rest of the year, by the way?
Like team-wise?
Yeah, like Nathaniel Hackett and the Broncos with their strategies.
There's no strategy. I have no strategy. There's zero strategy.
Do you have any? I'm putting Denver on my do not bet, no matter what is going on list.
Shit, I'm not betting on the Chiefs after last week, dude. Not that I bet on them, but I thought that was a lock, and now I can't trust them.
That was like a home dog, too easy. Whenever it's too easy, I try and stay away. There's somebody out there that put like $500,000 on the money line Chiefs too. They're like, fuck it, I'll win. I'll go ahead and win $50,000, easy. And now they're just
not.
But you will not. But anyone betting that much doesn't care anyway. So, okay, we're at a clean 45 minutes. I feel good about it. So, obviously, we're gonna end this on. Again, another thing I was absolutely right on was David Njoku versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. I wasn't exactly right, but I was the closest. I said, I think it was 5 for 60 and a touchdown. And he had over that. I think he had 6 for 80 and a touchdown. but it was way closer than Monty and Charlie's 1 and 2 for 19 yards.
No, I called the touchdown.
You did call the touchdown, yes, but the
I
yardage
had
was not
2
there.
for 28 or something.
The Browns, they play the Atlanta Falcons, my fun team, the fun team to watch. Let's do some Njoku time.
Muhammad Wilkerson, David Njoku's 3rd touchdown catch of the season. That's a beauty.
Great. I love that clip every time. Those who aren't watching, David Njoku spikes the ball between his legs, and it literally almost gets stuck between his butt cheeks. It's pretty fantastic.
It goes straight.
Njoku lines. What are you guys going with?
I'm going to say he comes back down to earth this week.
Yeah.
Despite everybody's going to be picking him up in fantasy football. 2 for 14.
I'm going 2 for 19. I'm going the Kyle Pitts old line.
I'm going 3 for 30.
Okay.
He does not get a touchdown, but 3 for 30. That's better than
he's not getting
whatever
a
I
touchdown.
said last week. Yeah.
That's Kyle Pitts numbers.
He's not getting a touchdown. Speaking of Kyle Pitts numbers, how are you guys feeling about fantasy? Better than me.
How are you feeling about fantasy?
My main league, very good. I'm 2-1, and I'm 4 points out of having the highest point total in the league. And I didn't draft my team. I think that's a lesson for me.
CeeDee Lamb had a good
Draft
week.
my team.
Jalen Hurts is carrying you.
He is, and I can't wait for him to continue carrying me. That's why I'm a huge Jalen Hurts fan. So I feel good in that league. Feel terrible in your guys' league. I'm 0-3. I am last place, but it is a long season, and Dalvin Cook apparently is going to play with a dislocated shoulder. So feel pretty good about that in London. It's a London team.
I feel pretty solid. I still think Monty's got the best team in the league, but I guess we'll figure that out this week when we play each other.
I'm just happy for London football to be back too, by the way.
The Jags not playing in London?
No, it's going to be the Minnesota Vikings versus the New Orleans Saints. I love waking up at 9:30 to watch football.
This will be the first London game I've watched in Chicago. We have to normally wake up at 6:30 on the 6:30 to watch
going off at 5
Jaguars.
a.m. I know, and although I'm such a degenerate, it could be at 3 a.m. and I'd be like, well, I guess I have to set the old alarm for 3 a.m. and watch the Falcons.
Just because you have Marvin Jones Jr. and 6:30 a.m. game.
I gotta watch James Robinson. Okay, I think this was solid, fellas. Anything else to add?
Before we cut, can I say something?
This is my last podcast.
No. I was gonna say we have one of our most loyal viewers. I'm assuming the only person watching live right now. My father. I want to wish him a happy 65th birthday this week. So.
Oh yes, happy birthday to the man.
Shout out Eric.
Yes, sir. Happy birthday,
Eric.
He's similar to Mani, very skeptical of the Eagles, whatever happens. So.
I'm all in on the Eric. If you're watching, I'm all in on the Eagles.
It's the realest
Super Bowl or
mindset.
bust. Let's go. AJ Brown, Devontae, front line. Miles Sanders,
Skinny Batman,
Sirianni. Yes, happy birthday to Charles' father, Eric. Let's go out on a little, how we start always. It's Tuesday night, but as we all know, it's Friday night. Always.
Friday night, I'm thinking that we just might fly away to someplace they don't know who we are. Now I'm riding shotgun in your car. We drive through the city like explorers going 65. Flowing hair flying across your face. We left on Friday, now it's Saturday. Pressed jeans buttoned up, jeans iron slipping up. Red shoes walking slow, headphones blaring 3 stacks. Sunglasses flaring out, thick watch hanging low. Studded belt pulled taut, 3 stacks on the radio. Friday night, I'm thinking that we just might run away to some place. We can be who we are. We can be who we are.